Welcome back to MenuDocs. My name is Vex, and I'm back at it again with episode 6 of the PHUE dashboard series. In today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit of I don't know how you can classify it, probably more on the back end since it's not going to be a noticeable UI change. But we're going to be, we're going to be changing you have to pass an integer, right? I don't really like that because it's the specific, I think it's Garment B they actually use, which is, can't really find a color wheel anywhere online for that. So what I've decided is PHUE supports XY graphing color. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a function to convert hex to RGB and to XY. Sounds like a mouthful, and trust me, it is a mouthful. There's a few things we gotta do first of all to get started, and we need to clear our history. Sounds weird. Why do we need to clear our history for a website? Because Google Chrome does a thing called caching, so it saves files locally. So the next time you go to that site, it speeds up and it clears it automatically, like maybe once every couple of days. I'm not too sure. So what we can do, we can go to clear browsing data, and you can take this one if you want. I accidentally ticked it before, and then see cached image and files. Now I think because I visited history, so it's just cached something for me. I can hit clear data. Now that we've done that, we're going to open up the incognito tab. Because incognito doesn't save our history, doesn't save cookies, and all that type of stuff, so it doesn't cache anything. Well, it shouldn't cache anything. That's what incognito is for. So we can just put in here localhost port 5000. It's not going to start or anything, so it's just going to time out and say like error code 500 or something, I think, because there's nothing on port 5000 just yet for localhost. So let's open up our file explorer. Let's go to workspace, type in command prompt. We'll just go to command prompt and let's open up our text editor. And sweet, now that we're in our text editor, let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is, I've noticed an inconsistency. Now this is my fault because I switch languages a lot, and with Python, there's actually a standard for each language that you should follow for how you format your code. You can view them online, and you just like Google Python code format standards or C code format standards, JavaScript code format standards, and we're gonna be consistent. So you can delete all these PyCache. I always forget to delete them. It's just when we're forcefully creating an error, we get them, and you can just move to recycle all of these. So let's get started. In our auth route, we're gonna move this capital R, and we're gonna put an underscore there, underscore, and then a lowercase r. And auth route, we can make this like auth router. And now we can do the same thing for lights. We're going to go in here, remove that capital R underscore lowercase r. So what we're doing here, this is actually called snake case syntax. So I'll show you the difference between the two syntaxes. So snake, oh, I forgot I can't use those. Snake case is underscores. So my function, as an example, camel case is this, so we can go camel case capitals. I'd put like subword, so like subword as isn't like the next word in the sentence, or sub. I can't remember what they technically call it. It's something like that. So we can go in here, we can update all of these to lowercase r. That shouldn't interfere with that. Yeah, perfect. All right, sweet. So this int, see why in a second, because we're gonna pass something, and it is an int, but the way we pass it, it's get treated as a string, and when we go to format it, it's gonna yell at us. I think that's all we needed to change in this file. Let's go to our main file, because we need to update our main file, since this is technically not in the file, so we need to do our snake case syntax that we did, and that's underscores, and then we need to update it down here. So you're going to notice the difference straight away. In our JavaScript files, we're going to be using camel case, and in the Python, we're going to be using snake case. There is no difference if you use snake case or camel case, or the same in the same file. readability does go down. I always make this mistake. Okay, you're probably going to make it as well. Everyone does it. And I'm just going through and fixing it up. Now that we've done that, let's go to lighthandler.py, which is in utils. And in here, we're going to remove this type hinting, and we're actually going to make it a string, sorry. So we are going to have type hinting, and we're going to make it a string, and we're going to remove none, because I don't know if you've noticed yet, you might have already noticed, if you go to change the brightness of the light and you don't pass a hue color, it goes to a really low red color, and we don't want that. So little workaround is we can use an if statement, and we're going to put in if hue is not none. So if hue does not equal, like, isn't none, we can just put this on here, but this is where we're going to change it. We actually need to format our data. So we're gonna go xy is equal to hue dot split, and that should automatically split it for us. And this is where we're going to actually convert it to a float, because these, I believe it's from a range of like -1 to 1 for the x and y's for xy graphs. I might be wrong, but we need to actually pass it to a float so we can have the decimal, because the integer is a whole number and the float has your decimals pretty much. That's the easiest way to explain it. So we can just put float parentheses xy, and we can pass in the first element, and then we can do the same thing. Actually, sorry, I forgot to put float inside of here, xy. Oops, all over the shop today. So that's gonna update our lights to if it is a given, what's it called? I can't speak. So if we do have a hue parameter passed in with it, it's gonna update the lights. If not, you know, it's just gonna ignore it. And that should be all for light handler. Now we actually, this is the part you've been waiting out for. Not right. Yeah. Okay. This shouldn't be camel case. This should be actually snake case. Oops, camel case. Other way around. This should be camel case, not snake case. So in our index.html, we need to change this to capital C, and that should match up. Sweet. Okay. Now, whoa, what have I done? We're gonna go to start here. I'm just gonna enter down a couple of times. This is going to be a mouthful of a name, this one. So it's hex to RGB, then XY. Hex to RGB, then XY. And we're going to make a function, so we can put in here. So what have I done to my keyboard? There we go. Hex. And we use our arrow function. And in here, we're going to check if there's a hashtag in front of a hex, because if you've ever used hex, which you probably have, you know, you can have like that, and that would be like a gray color. That is shorthand syntax for hex. We're not going to get into shorthand syntax for hex color codes, because that's where it gets more complicated anyway. So we're just going to do hex equal hex dot replace. You can actually pass regex in the replace attribute, I'm pretty sure, but we're just going to put a hashtag there, and it's going to check if that's there. So yeah, you can see you can put a string or regex, and if that is found, we're just going to remove it pretty much. If it isn't found, it's just not going to do anything, so don't worry about that. And in here is where we get to write some, we get to write our RGB. So we need to type let RGB equal hex dot match. This is where we pass in our regex, which is /dot 1 2, and then /g. So that's our regex. So it's gonna see if anything is in there, and now we can create a bunch of variables. Here we go. Let red. So we're gonna get our red part of the hex. And this is gonna pass int. And then we need to get RGB 0, 16, and we're going to divide it by 255. I'm just going to copy and paste this because it's going to be a map order type each time. So, and it's the same on each line, just changing the different values. So we can rename this to green and get the first value and do the same. And now we can get our blue value, which is the second or the third element, but in code it's treated as a second element. Now that we got our red, blue, green, here comes the really fun stuff. So now we can type red equal parentheses red. This is going to be, so we're actually going to use a ternary operator. So condition and then question mark true and then colon false. And you'll see what it looks like in a second. So we can go 0.0045. Oh, hang on, sorry, it's 04045. And this is where our ternary operator starts, so we can put our question marks. So now on the left side, this is going to be our true. So if red is greater than 0.045, this is where our true side comes in. So we can use math.pow. So it's going to take x and it's going to take it, raise it to the power of the next value. So we can do brackets red plus 0.005. Don't ask me why we have to do all these special colors to X, Y, and stuff. I honestly don't understand. Like, I understand what's kind of going on, but I don't understand, why does, how does this formula get this result? Because it's colors and it's, it gets pretty complicated. So there you go, we're going to raise it to the power of 2.4, and this is where if it's not greater than 0.4045, we're going to just go red divided by 12.92. I'm going to speed this up, and you guys can pause the video because it's pretty much going to be the same thing on each line, but except a little bit of change for some of them. So I'll see you when it's done. Okay, so I'm back. I sped up a lot of that clip because it's pretty self-explanatory what's happening with the rest of the code from here. Just a quick rundown. We're timesing the x, y, z values by a specific amount for each red, green, blue, and then to get our actual final result of x, y, we're just we're dividing x over the sum of x, y, z, and then dividing y over the sum of x, y, z, and then we're returning it, which now we get into our final part of code. And we're going to delete this, and we're going to go hex to RGB. I'm not going to type that out, I'm just going to get that. I'm going to get our dom.getElement by ID. And we're going to pass in PHUE, and we're going to get the value of it, and then underneath here, we're going to remove this and just put PHUE. Sweet, so that should be all done. Let's fire it up and pray to God we have no errors. So main.py. So far so good. And now let's navigate to localhost, and we need to log in. I always forget to update that placeholder, which you guys can do. You should be smart enough. Oops, I put in the wrong password. And that should be working now. So let's put in my lamp. So mine's actually the table lamp. Change it to what yours is. Let's get a color picker up. So color picker. Yeah, let's go blue, hey? Let's get a nice blue color. And I'm gonna get one of the hash. Oh, found the line that's probably stuffing us up, and it's this little bugger here. And remove him. Whoops. So now if we go back and hit update lights, done. For some reason my light didn't turn on, it must be unplugged, but you know, it will work. Well, it should work. Alright, I think I found the line, and it's line 17 again. I think I deleted .on instead of .hu before, so that's why it's yelling at me, because it's trying to change a light that was off. So if we go back, this should update. Yeah, done. Forgot to copy that hex color, because my light's already blue, so I'm not going to see any different. Why does it keep going back to that line? What do you hear? So we can update our light now. Mine went pink, perfect, so let's put it back to blue quickly. And this time I'm not going to copy the hex, just to prove that it does work without the hashtag. Sorry, not the hex. We're going to copy the hex, but without the hashtag. And yeah, go back to blue straight away. Sweet, that's it for today's episode. It kind of a bit boring. It's something simple, just really long. I hope that I personally think this is going to be a nice adjustment, and I promise next episode we're going to start working on the UI and making it look really nice. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, leave a dislike if you didn't enjoy it, but make sure to leave a comment if you did dislike and tell me why, so I can improve. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to MenuDocs, and if you need help, join our server, discord.gg/MenuDocs. There'll be a link in the description somewhere, or if not in the comments, you'll find it. Join, go to Python, tag me, I'm Vex. You'll see me in there. I'm always pretty active, and I can help you if you have any